Good morning. I needed to turn on the camera for these clouds here. These are just so picture book pretty. And you wait until you see the other side. Here we go. This is the other side. This is where the sun actually rises. Hey friends, it's your favorite neighborhood nerd, Simone. It's no shower Saturday. Oh my God, the clouds are coming over the mountains back there. It's so pretty. I just wanted to say hi, and I'm hoping you're doing well. This November really is breaking me. Well, it's not really breaking me because every time I go outside, I'm just in love with what I see. However, I do struggle with this time change and the darkness more than I've done in the past, or I can't remember. Maybe I forget every year, and maybe that's how it's supposed to be. I don't know, but it feels super tough right now. I hope I'll get out of that. And yes, we are way beyond the time change now. So it's not like that was yesterday. It's been kind of wet the last few days, but the ground looks like it's starting to freeze, which means we can also go dirt roading again, Max and I. When we go on dirt roads, that's where he can be off leash. And we haven't been able to do that much because we both would look like mud pigs, and I just don't have the energy to clean myself off like that every single day. Plus the dog. And it also is no fun to walk through mud when your shoes mud up and there's like another clunky layer of dirt underneath. Oh my God, look at these clouds, man. It's so fantastic. I hope that wherever you are, you have skies like this. At least for me, this is what gets me going. If my day is gray and dark and I'm not getting out, thanks to Max, that's every day now. And I don't know where I would be at this time without him. But if you have skies like this, man, lucky you. If you do not, maybe this can help you get over some of that darkness. So I thought I was going to just quickly jot down the little teeny tiny things that I've been thinking of telling you. But for some reason, there's so many. And then I was going to do the big thing, which is I have been trying to come up with a top 5 pens that caught me or I fell in love with in 2025. And it's been a little hard. I can pinpoint my top 3 and then it kind of fizzles out. And I thought maybe we should talk about and rate the pens that I purchased in 2025 and see where that leaves me. And then I also would like to make a video about the pens I sold in 2025, but that's going to be a separate video. So yeah. So I think because all of these teeny tiny things are so short, but also there's so many of these, I'm not sure that I'll get to the rate my pen purchase in this Snippets video. So maybe I will have 2 that week that this comes out. I've been having to talk through so many things with you that I'm already so far ahead in my Snippets from my desk videos that I don't want to get further ahead. because then I'm like, it's January, I'm still talking about stuff that I'm going to do in the new year, because you haven't seen all of that stuff yet. But maybe I also won't film that much in December, so I don't want to clump it all together. I want to give myself some freedom with the video making. So I purchased this tape. I'm just going to go down the list in order because otherwise I will forget, which is the Lone Traveler. I don't remember the name. Maybe it's still on here. Wow. Solo Traveler by Peon 2025. I think it just came out and I had to buy this. And the reason why I had to buy this is because I was on a hike when my friend Daisy sent me a link to this. And I was like, this is serendipity. I need to buy this. And I like it. But it's also super tiny. And there's a lot of stuff that doesn't necessarily pertain to me. However, the repeat is super long. So it starts here. I already used these two first stickers. So this is one, let me just go slowly. This is one repeat. And many of these things are relevant. They might not be my stuff, but that's okay. I mean, we talk in metaphors all the time when we journal and when we use stickers, so they don't need to look like the things that I'm using. I don't know what it is about it. It doesn't grab me as, for instance, this one does. This is one that came out a long time ago. This is from a different creator. This is from our studio. And I think if this theme was made in this art style, I would be totally up for it. This feels too artsy for me and my style, but that's okay. And it's 5 repeats, I think. 3 centimeters by 5. One loop is 1 meter, so it's 5 repeats. And that's okay. What I love about this, and the reason why I wanted to show it to you, is Peon tapes in recent years have always been kiss cut. Like, you can remove this without doing any of your own work, like this. And I find this so genius. I wonder why none of the other makers have started to do this. I wonder if their profit margin is smaller because it's cut out. I would love to know why some can do this and some cannot. Maybe that's why it's so tiny. I don't know. I'm in love with the fact that I don't have to cut around this. That's what I don't necessarily like about tapes like this in general. And then I bought this from Kubo and Lucy, and Aiko Fukawa is one of my favorite artists, and they had 2 postcard books. I wanted to show these to you because I want to share the beautiful artistry here. And it's repeating once, so what I'm going to do, even though it's going to be hard, I will be taking half of the book for myself and sending out postcards, and then I will just include empty postcards in Happy Mail to send to friends to share. This one feels like there's always space to write something in here, like here and here. So I might be playing with that. And then this one is people. I was going to say there's a name for humanized animals, but I don't remember what it is.
But basically, this is what this is, portraits of sorts. Yeah, so then it starts over. But yeah, I was so happy that I was able to snag these, plus the PET tape, little teeny tiny haul. I have been spendy recently. It's only little things, and I always tell myself, oh, I deserve this, and I totally do. But I also know that it's the darkness that's creeping in from outside that makes me weaker to those temptations, and I'm okay with that to some degree. I just feel like there is always this. I don't at any point want to feel guilty about buying things. And when it gets to that point, then I need to start rethinking my approach to life in general. Because then there's deeper underlying issues. Second thing I want to talk about. And there is so much about consumerism out there. There is overconsumption, which I don't think is the right word for what an individual does in the grand scheme of things. So we could talk about this forever, but ultimately, I personally think that it's not up to me to judge how much money you spend on things. Even if you spend money beyond your means, it's still not my place to judge. Especially when we don't know each other on a personal level. That's up to every single person. I don't know anything about your life. You don't know anything about my life. And so what feels right to you might not be right for me. And I think that has come up recently quite a bit. Also in the YouTube sphere, in the pen world. And I can only speak for myself in that when I say that I don't feel guilty about buying things, it comes from a place of healing and not from a place of I'm obsessed with buying things. Because I have felt guilty for buying things for a long time. And not necessarily because I couldn't afford them, but because I thought I didn't deserve to own them. That I needed to validate the purchase. And that's for me and my therapist. And if you feel similarly, maybe you also need to find a therapist to work through these issues. So, completely change of topic. I changed out. Yes, I talked about the spendy things, right? And so I've also been, I feel like retailers, and it's like across the board. It doesn't matter what hobby you're in, backpacking, pens, stationery, everything. The amount of emails that I am getting, I feel has increased. Maybe I'm more susceptible to them, could also be, but it could also be that the economy makes them be more aggressive in their marketing. But I am getting so many emails, and I have been unsubscribing from so many, not necessarily because I'm so extremely tempted, but because it just gets on my nerves. Now, I got the Travelers Company newsletter marketing email, because it's not a newsletter, right? With the announcement that the bears are being sold again. And I have been gifted the 2 leather bears in previous years. And I think last year, maybe even the year before, I decided I'm going to gift myself this brass bear charm. And wouldn't you think I was thinking about, I want another sticker release paper insert. So to make it worthwhile, the ordering process, maybe I should get the brass bear. And then something just let me hesitate, because I was like, I feel like I have this. So I went looking for it, and look at this. It's on my Olive Traveler's Notebook. And so I took that as an opportunity to switch from this road trip TN to the Olive, and now my creative journal, as well as my long form journal. Look how I'm such a great TN user. Because when I'm working in these, I take them off the elastic, and I'm the laziest person ever. I just never put them back on. But here's my 2 journals in my olive cover with the brass bear that I already owned. I didn't need to get another one. I mean, you can never have enough bears, right? These are so cute. Which led me to rediscover the notebook that I kept in here, which was my adventure notebook. And I took that one apart yesterday. There were 2 finished journaling entries, and then one that I had started. And then there's more that I wanted to do, and I'm just going to shelve this for now. And if I have an idea on what I want to do, and if I want to repurpose them, maybe I want to incorporate them in a future journal, that's fine. But I'm going to use this adventure journal as my hiking notes. And what I mean by that is that I keep watching videos where I get information, important information, or I'm researching stuff like bears and how to approach bears. Well, I don't really want to approach them, but what if they approach me, or if I encounter a bear? How to behave, what to do, what to bring on your average normal hike when you're out in bear country. I watch these videos, and the information, or also I look at the websites, but the information is there. I read it, I think I know it, and I remember it, and it's completely gone. So I learn a lot when I write. This is basically how I retain information best. So what I'm going to do is take notes. I'm going to take notes on bears, rattlesnakes, hikes, the 10 essentials of hiking, all of that stuff, and specific hikes, information about hikes that I'm gathering, hikes that I want to do, all that stuff is going in here. And I took it apart mostly because I had already stamped this cover, and I really love it, and it works totally for the purpose that I want to use it for. And so I'm going to use this one. And yes, it has less pages, obviously, because I took some out, but that's fine. It's probably best if I'm not overwhelming myself with too many pages, because that's something that often keeps me from using or starting journals in the first place. And then I also printed the writing guides. This one is one that I just printed on an 8.5 by 11. And what I'm probably going to do is glue this together so it's a little sturdier. Then I can insert it right here and then cut it down here. I just folded it so I could put it away without it being crinkly. But this is so cool. And I Googled for them, and then I saw that in the Google search, so well done, well-appointed desk, the well-appointed desk came up. And I know that they are a journaling fountain pen adjacent blog. And so I thought this would probably be the best place to get it, because they know what I need. And sure enough, they totally do. So I'm going to link that resource down in the description box below, because I think it's fantastic. They have all the different sizes. They have it for A5. Unfortunately, they don't have traveler's notebook size, but that's okay for me because if I printed it on this tiny flimsy copy paper, that's too flimsy for me. I would have it sturdier, and because TN size is almost half of a 8.5 by 11, it works out fine. And then I just printed it instead of, reducing the size to fit. I just printed it at 100% onto this page. And this is the thick lines, and they come through really well. They have grid, they have dot grid, they have lines, they have different spacing of lines. I really enjoy 7mm spacing, so that's what I printed. This is the thick lines, but I also printed the regular lines, and I think they work as well. Maybe might even be better because then the line isn't as fat. But yeah, I will be equipping all of the things that I need lined pages for with these writing guides from Well Appointed Desk. So yeah, I just wanted to share this because I always have a hard time finding the right writing guides for myself to print. And these seem to be the perfect ones, at least for me. So that is the writing guide. That is the pen, the change of scenery. I think this button is a button that I bought somewhere. I don't know where, but I love it. And then this is a charm that I got from Coco Daisy when I still was on their team, which is, yeah, I like how this looks. And I feel like I'm leaving these charms on there. I used to be someone who loved to change these things out, but at the moment, I'm really happy with having a designated charm or set of charms that I think work really well with each other on there, and then just swapping out the cover. And then my friend Carol from Stationary Dumpling. This is my ephemera TN. Look at what I did. Sent out or asked in my Discord. She had some of these 2026 stickers left from the Pelican Hub and asked if any one of us wanted them. I do not plan on making 2026 stickers. And I said, yeah, sure, I'd love one. And so she sent them out and they came in yesterday, and I wanted to share them because they are really cute. And so she sent a sampling of other stickers that she makes. So there is a new ink day, new pen day. This one is a stamp. And then these are cute too. These are Two Sad Dumplings Co. quotes. And I've already used them on something. Let's talk about the 2026 sticker too, because I had a revelation yesterday. And also let's talk about the darkness. But wait, I thought, maybe I should make a 2026 sticker because I feel like I want to add that to the beginning or the front cover of my journal, or the first, the fly leaf, this title page that I showed you earlier, this one, basically this one, or even here. I love putting meaningful stickers on these pages. And so I thought, you can just make a piece of art that is 2026, cut it out and stick it on the front of your journal. It isn't less valid just because it's not a full matte vinyl sticker, right? Like, why do I sometimes trap myself in that thinking? So if you need the permission to make art that says 2026, cut it out and have a unique piece on the front of your journal, here it is. There you go. I'm so glad I was able to help. I don't understand myself sometimes, and that's why I talk about it with you, so we can both try to be more understanding of what's going on inside my brain. I've said that I'm really struggling with the darkness, and I don't really know why. I'm just so extremely tired, and maybe it's just my mind that is kind of like a 3-year-old toddler that doesn't want this to happen. And so I'm just like laying on the ground, screaming and raging about the fact that it's dark all the time. I don't know. But what I'm noticing is as soon as November comes around and as soon as we go back into winter time and we're approaching winter solstice, I am more creative. My brain has more ideas. I'm not necessarily able to translate them all, but I have so many ideas, more than during the summer months when I feel like my brain is fried. I never have good states of mind. I have fried state, I have temper tantrum state, but in the November months, I'm very creative. Maybe it's that, as we move towards the new year, and there's new beginnings and new opportunities, that energy of newness, as I said, of opportunity makes my brain be more creative. I don't know. But I wanted to share another thing that happened to me this past week so many times. I have been using this at Liebe leather pen case, or journaling case, I think is what they call it. I had used this for my fountain pens all through summer, and I really love it for that. I can fit 5 in here. I usually put those pens in here that do not have clips and that are extremely expensive. And then all the clippy pens go here. And I can stuff, I had, I think 12, 13 pens in here. And it worked well. It didn't feel overcrowded. It didn't feel stuffed. And now I currently have 7 pens inked, and it felt a little empty. And so I decided, you know what, you have more pen cases, like this rickshaw pen case with Anna from the Well Appointed Desk designed this specific fabric. And I thought, this would be the perfect opportunity to go for a smaller pen case. And so this has been laying on my desk next to me, and I'm looking around for my pen case. I can't find it. I don't know where my pens are. Like, where is that? Because I am looking for the wrong thing, and then I'm like, oh, right, it's here. It's right here. That's where it is. So if you want to chuckle, that was the chuckle part of the Snippets video. I also, I've been bold yet again, one more time. I reached out to Asvine, most likely. And asked if I heard so many things about the big number 8 pens, number 8 nib pens, specifically the Asvine C80 and the Asvine V800, I believe is the name. If they would be able to provide a pen for me so that I could review it on my channel. And they said, sure, we can give you the C80. And so I chose one and they sent it to me, and I'm super impressed. The very first impression that I had when I opened it is, wow. It reminds me a lot in size and grip section. Actually, it does not only remind me, also in the, I guess this is a machined pen, but even the threads, they're not as amazing as the ones from James at Bone Crusher 7 Studios, but it totally reminds me of that pen. The resin it's glittery, but it's not like, there's a lot of better resin craftsmen out there that can do fantastic things. And I don't think that is something that you could expect from maybe mass-produced resin. But I'm still impressed by the fact that this is glittery resin. It doesn't need to be that for me. I would also, I can see this pen working in this material, or even the frosted ones that they have in the V126. I can see this pen be successful with this resin as well. So it doesn't need to be that for me. But obviously it's an added bonus. And I haven't inked it yet. I haven't tested it yet. I need to film the video about it. But I saw Doug from Inquiring Minds, as well as, now I am completely blanking on the pen reviewer's name. I will put it on the screen right here. They both sang such high praises from Asvine, and I haven't seen, and that's where I was bold, I haven't seen a lot of female reviewers for Asvine pens. And I thought, you know what? I am female. I have a different, most likely my audience is different enough to the one of Doug and the other dude. And I would probably be able to share this pen with a different audience. So if you are not subscribed to Doug, don't, because then we have the same audience, right? So don't tell anyone. No, you actually should, because his content is so different from mine that it would probably enrich your YouTube watching. But that is something that I want to work on today. I did some dry writing experiments on paper, and it felt, it felt maybe a little scratchy, but I will need to figure that out. But it doesn't feel like it's ripping the paper or anything. So I think this might actually be a decent nib. And I would love to try the stub nib at one point, because again, I have heard so many good things about that. But yeah, so this is here. Most likely the review or first impressions video of this pen will be up already by the time that you are seeing this specific Snippets video. And then I have received my Extravagant Hope mailer for November. Yeah, this is how early I'm filming this. And I've always loved Brandy Kincaid's art. I'm a big fan. I have been subscribed to this mailer ever since she started it, and I have no intention of ever letting it go. But I wanted to show you the postcards that were included in this month's mailer, because I feel like her art has changed, and I love just seeing that. And it has changed, not in a negative way. It's just, wow, look at her still growing, even though she's such an amazing artist. This just feels different, but still amazing. So I wanted to show them to you. And also the messaging on all of these cards is just so fantastic. Dear you, you are loved, you are missed, you are needed, you are wanted, you are known. Then this one is listen close. This moment won't last, but your heart will keep going. I love that there's artsy things. There's just this very plain and laid back, but it's just, and then this one, we keep each other dry when the storm clouds loom heavy. I love, yeah. I feel like she's one of those artists that she should have a book with all of the letters, the extravagant hope mailers letters that she includes. It's so good. I think maybe here, this just looks like rolled on paint. And I think she does most of her art is done digitally, but I think still that it has changed and it looks so good. And then this is my favorite one. I love how this is lighter down here and then it goes really dark. And then this is not uniform. It has depth, but it's still so simple in a way. Yeah, I don't know if you agree, but I totally love this. And what I'm talking about is that she includes a letter every month where she tells you things. And maybe it's just me, but she talks about the change of the season. And I love this part because I'm just going to read you this sentence. I love this part of the season because while I am lamenting the loss of light and the 4:40 p.m. sunsets, nature reminds me again that there are also things I love nestled in the shift. It's like she tells me the things that I don't think of when I am laying on the floor temper tantruming like a toddler about this. And then she says, but remember, you love this and this and this about this season. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. It's cool. And she talked about geese flying in V formation and hearing the call of the geese. And I have not ever heard or seen them fly over me until I read this. And the next day I go to work and I hear geese calling and I see them flying on my drive to work. I'm like, what the heck is this? It felt like magic. Yeah, so there we are. This is where I am right now. I have a lot of things that I would like to get settled. I printed this and it didn't turn out really well. This is a free printable from Julia at Julia Here. She has a website where you can download your planner and journal lineup. I was going to cut it down to A5 size and put it in my plotter, but I don't think this is exactly what I need because I need to probably do my own. I'm just going to write it down and probably make a list of what I would like to cover in my journals. Maybe I'll film another informal. Are any of my videos even formal at all? Probably not. But I look at the snippets from my desk videos as informal videos. Maybe I'll talk about that again and then just share a hopefully more succinct video about my journal lineup in 2020, beginning of 2026, where I'm like, okay, this is what I want to write about. This is what I document. This is what I make lists for. And here are the journals for this. And this is combined into that, blah, 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 you know? And this is how I'm going to narrow it down. I have a good idea about it, but I feel like I need it written down in order to settle in my brain. I told you earlier, I'm a written learner. It manifests in my brain if I write the words. But that is something that I'm still kind of like, I have the feeling that I carry it in my brain and it's overloading. Like it's almost exploding. So I need to get it down on paper. Another thing that is a sore spot in my pen collection things is my still not very successful nib storage. Like I have these, but basically what it happens is that I'm too lazy to open these and put the nib inside. So I just throw it next to it. Yep. So that's something that I really want to talk through and figure out. I'm trying to find, like, see how many specialty nibs to maker pen, what the ratio is, kind of like, do I have a specific home for every single one of the pens that I love, the nibs that I love using? Yeah. I have not found the perfect storage solution for this yet. I'm very hesitant about buying something because I haven't really figured out what exactly I need. I think that is the bigger part of this. I noticed that unscrewing this and putting it back down, maybe having it numbered, is too much work. So I would need to go check what the 19 means and in a book maybe, and then open it up, throw it in. That seems to be too much. I had it labeled here, but that also doesn't work. So for instance, if I were to use this nib, then I would just take this out and put the nib that was on the pen where I want to put it on in here. And that is not how this is supposed to work. So yeah, do I want to make something myself? Am I going to have my son print a 3D printed thing? What would that look like? How would it work? And that's also one of those brain overloads that I don't know how to tackle yet, but also every so often it's like, the nibs. You don't have your nibs organized. The nibs! Oh my God! Simona, the nibs! So that's where I'm at right now. I don't have a lot of time during the day to film because I go to work, I get up, it's dark, I go to work, I'm at work, I come home, I go for a walk with Max, I come home, it's dark. So it's either artificial lighting, which there is no artificial lighting right now, and it's already a little darky. And you didn't see much. I have these. I made these divider pages in the beginning of I'm still doing them. Now I'm just rambling and looking at things that I want to can talk about. So every month I made a title page. Oh my God, look at the colors. And then in the beginning, when I was still doing Ko-fi and had my paid Ko-fi, I would share these. So here is the February page, and then I have March. March is really fun. Man, this turned out so nice. Then I had, and then some didn't turn out the way that I would like them to turn out, and that's totally okay. This is April, but I need to check if I have them as a freebie or not, and need to make them accessible for you, because January is almost here, and you could use that if you wanted to print May, June. This was fun to make. I mean, it's not really legible, but it's an idea to do stuff with your pens. July. Here I tested all of my these ones, One-Size Minis. Did I share this the other day? This one has a crack. And I think it's because some of these parallel nibs, I think this is not very precisely made. I guess probably both of them aren't super precise. And so maybe sometimes I shaved some of these nibs a little down so they would be able to fit. But this one seems kind of too tight. And so it cracked. I don't know when it cracked because it never leaked, but I cleaned it and it was cracked. So maybe there was a lot of tension in there. Oh, and I put it into the ultrasonic cleaner. So maybe that plus the tension here made it crack. But yeah, I'm cleaning all of my One-Size Minis with the parallel nibs out so that I can ink them up again in the new year. And I'm intentionally not inking them up right now because I am waiting to see what my ink mass partner send me, and I'm also waiting to see what the Inkvent calendar holds, so that I have a lot of places to put inks that I might not really want to use in... Oh my god, this is cracked as well. Shit, tipo pity. I definitely need to make an update video about this because that is rather uncool. So if you probably don't put them into... That is really weird. I did not expect this to happen. And to be honest, I don't think it happened before I put them into the ultrasonic cleaner. Now, I have no idea how that works and if the tension that, like, if there is more tension to this then, or pressure to this than normal, or if this is just because it is so tight. This is the time, like almost a year of using them like this. This is then the time when they crack. I'm definitely going to film an update video about this for sure, because I want you to know that if you spend the money, you might end up having to repurchase your One-Size Minis or put your pens into your nibs into a different pen. I personally don't mind. Actually, I learned this year, and there's still more. So let's check these ones. This doesn't have a crack. So I guess I'm not, actually, my ultrasonic cleaner fell on the floor after I was done cleaning. So I actually trashed it. I don't have one anymore. I wonder if it's the plastic that is... That's so weird. Yeah, if you have one-side minis, let me know if this happened to you too. Because look at this, they're all good. There's nothing going on with them at all. So what I was going to say is that I had one of them eyedropper filled for the whole year. Well, actually, since last year of October, and I cleaned it in November of this year. Now I don't know where it went. This is odd. Yes, the ones that look like desk pens. And I had it in this pen case the whole year and I didn't mind one bit. So maybe we don't even need to do all of that stuff for the Pilot Parallels. It's cute and it's lovely and it works, but I'm definitely not going to buy replacement sections for these pens that have cracked. And then August was this. September, I need to be a little bit more careful here right now so that I wouldn't show anything that might be Why did I put the lol here? I don't know. A 9 lol. Something was off here. I tried to mix inks and it was extremely muddy. Didn't work out. I still like it. I love that I kept up with it for the year, and for especially that I was able to just try stuff out and not feel like I have to do it a certain way. Then I did October. This one turned out really lovely. I like this a lot. There's a spider right here and a spider right there. And then what does November look like? Oh my gosh, I think November is the worst. So the idea was to do the following. Let me try and find it. So I did one of these grids with my inked pens that month, and I just loved the meditative idea of it. So I thought I could make letters and then just fill in the grid like that. And it totally backfired. It did not work out at all. Here's the beginning of it. I didn't like it at all. It took a lot of time. It didn't, And so I just filled it in like this. It kind of looks a little janky. I tried it. It's fine. Whatever. So I need to, as you can see, it's not December yet. I need to figure out what I want to do for December. It's the last month. And then I'm done with this whole notebook, which is so cool. But yeah, there we are. I don't know why I talked about this, but I just felt like I was a little... I didn't talk to my friends, this whole week. And so I just needed to get it out. Thank you so much for watching. I hope to be able to leave all the links down in the description box below. And I hope to see you again soon. Until next time, bye.